It's time for an eyeshadow palette ranking. What's up, y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are doing an eyeshadow palette ranking. I have 10 palettes sitting here in front of me, and I have tested them, I have used them, I have created multiple looks with them, and I have my final thoughts. I think this was hard. This was a really hard ranking. I went back and forth for a long time. I sat with this for days, and I think this is what we have finally landed on. Keep in mind, a lot of this comes down to color story preference and kind of mood as well. Like, this could change 3 months from now. I could love another palette more than another, but as of today, this is where it stands. So we're gonna jump into this, but before we do, I just want to let you know that I did film this look. It is not using one of these palettes, but the video will be up very soon. I believe it's in a short, and I will link and list everything that I have on down below, as well as all of these palettes as well. So if you're interested in any of them or anything that I am wearing, you can find it all down in the description box. But let's jump into this ranking. Okay, so number 10 is this little palette right here. This is the Natasha Denona Mini Trio Chrome palette, and I picked this one up whenever I picked up the Natasha Denona Hyper Natural palette, I believe is what it's called, because I never picked this one up and I just thought it looked so beautiful. I like the blues, I love a blue look, and I wanted to test it out because I also love Natasha Denona. I love the quality, I love the formula, and I love her little mini palettes, but unfortunately, this is not a favorite. This shade right here, I use this in a get ready with me video, and this shade did not perform very well in that video. I had a really hard time getting it to build up, to blend out without patching, and I've done this a couple other times and I'm still having that same issue with this color. The rest of these colors in this palette perform beautifully, but since it's only a 5-pan palette, I just, it's not worth it if one of the shades, which is one of the only 2 mattes in the palette, isn't going to perform. So while I still love Natasha Denona and I love the quality, this one just didn't do it for me. Coming in at number 9 is this guy right here. This is the e.l.f. Bite Size Eyeshadow in Hot Jalapeno. I picked this up for my testing e.l.f. makeup, like a full face of e.l.f. makeup, and this surprised me. I was so shocked. Well, one, it's hard to get open. Like, it is a pain in the ass to open and it drives me nuts, but I loved the look that I created with this. The quality in here is spectacular, and these are like $3 at the drugstore. I absolutely love that. But again, this is falling where it is because you can really only do one look with this. I mean, you can mix and match and just do like this one and this one, or this one and this one, but for the most part, you're going to get a monochromatic green eyeshadow look, which is fine, but because of that, I just can't put it any higher. I had to be kind of picky with this, but this is a beautiful formula. Like, I am really interested in picking up others. I think this is a great little palette to kind of like throw in your bag, travel with, because if it breaks, it's not a big deal. It's only $3, but this was an impressive little palette. Like, she's small, but she is mighty. Coming in at number 8 is the Oden's Eye X Judy Spring Dragon palette. This palette is gorgeous. I really do love this palette, but I had to get really picky with this because all of these are fantastic quality. For like here, actually all except for one are absolutely fantastic quality. So it really came down to color story and what I was reaching for, and like a diverse selection of looks that I could do. But this palette is beautiful. This came out, I believe it was end of January. No, it was February 14th. That's right. It was Valentine's Day. And this came out with 3 other palettes. This is part of the Diversa Series 2 collection, and this palette is beautiful. It really, really is. I love that we have a pastel palette from Oden's Eye, but that's what it is. It's a pastel palette. And as much as I love a pastel look, I don't reach for them as often as I do other palettes. I don't gravitate towards them as much, and I do appreciate that we have this dark brown in here and we have this brighter pink, and I will say all of these shades perform beautifully. They're pigmented, they go on absolutely amazing. The shimmers in here go on like butter. They're shifty, they're shiny, they're beautiful. But yeah, I just not reaching for it as much as I'm reaching for the other palettes, which is why this one is landing at number 8. Coming in at number 7 is the Fantasy Cosmetica Wizard palette. This is gorgeous. I love Fantasy Cosmetica. I really do. I love them as a brand. I have loved watching them grow, and their formula has just gotten better and better and better. And I love seeing what character they're going to do next and what color story is going to come with that one. But this one is a blue and yellow color story. We do have this pop of purple right here. We have this beautiful holochrome shade as well. But for me, this one is going to be more of a color story thing. Every look that I get is either blue or it's like yellow, and there's not a whole lot of variety in here. Don't get me wrong. I love this palette. I will treasure this palette. It is a favorite, but compared to the other palettes, it's just not as... I'm not reaching for it as much. It's the same thing that I said with like the Spring Dragon palette, but I do really enjoy this. I love that we have like really light shades. We've got really dark. We've got these beautiful pops of yellow in here. This holochrome shade is absolutely beautiful. I do really enjoy this palette, but I just don't enjoy it as much as the others. So yeah, this is going to be number 7. Coming in at number 6, we have the Odin's Eye x Annette's Makeup Corner, the Mighty Monster palette. This is beautiful. When these palettes first came out, I thought for sure this was going to be my absolute favorite, and while I do love it, I enjoy the color story in here. I think it's beautiful. It's not my favorite one of the 3. By now you can already guess which one that is, but this palette is beautiful. I love that we have these neutral tones in here. We have these bright, beautiful primary shades. We even have a couple pops of more pastel-y shades. This shade right here, what's this one called? Glow Vortex, is absolutely gorgeous. It's beautiful on the lid. This green is beautiful. This is beautiful. I do really enjoy this color story. I love the looks that I created with it. It's just, again, it comes down to preference. It comes down to color story. It comes down to what I'm reaching for, and I'm just not reaching for this one as much as the others, which I'm going to sound like a broken record by the end of this, but it is what it is. Okay, so we are into our top 5, and this was probably the hardest 5 to rank because these were reorganized over and over and over. I thought I had it one way, and then I thought I had it another way, and I really had to get nitpicky with these, and that's what I did. So coming in at number 5 is the Adept Cosmetics Flying Fiddles palette. This palette is gorgeous. I absolutely love this lace packaging, and this does feel like lace stretched over it. It's absolutely beautiful. And then we open her up and we have this gorgeous, very neutral color story with all of these shimmers in it. The reason I put this one where I put it is because 1, it is a more neutral leaning palette, and 2, it is a very shimmer heavy palette. So for me, there's not a whole lot of variety as far as the mattes go, but I will say every single shade in this palette performs beautifully. The mattes are pigmented, they're soft, they're buttery, the shimmers are shifty, they're shiny, they are they're absolutely beautiful on the lid. I do really enjoy this palette. This is probably one of my favorite Adept palettes that I have. I believe this is number 4 that I have. I can't keep track anymore, but it is beautiful. It's just, again, it's more on the neutral side. It's more on the shimmer heavy side, so that's why it's falling at number 5. Okay, this one may surprise you, but coming in at number 4 is the Ensley Rain Groovy Garden palette. I know I had this one like way up further, but the more and more I looked at the other palettes, I was like, I reach for those more. I love those more. But this is a beautiful palette. I really absolutely love it. I love the tones in here. The tones are speaking to my soul. But again, I put this one where I put it because of the color story. As much as I love this color story, I get a lot of I don't have a whole lot of variety in here as far as colors, but it is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love the Ensley Rain formula. These shimmers in here are stunning. This one right here, Lava Lamp, is absolutely gorgeous. It is so shifty and so beautiful, as well as this shade right here. I do really enjoy this palette, but yeah, I enjoy these other three more, so this is number 4. Okay, number 3 goes to the Odin's Eye X Tina the Fancy Face Earthwood palette. This palette I have fallen in love with. It is so beautiful. I love the artwork. It's just as beautiful as the other 3, but for me in here, it's this color story. And I'll tell you what did it for me. What sent me over the top is this shade right here that's called Beauty. This is the most beautiful, shifty shade ever. It's so soft, it's pigmented, it's reflective on the lid, and I absolutely love the other shades in here. I love the variety that I have. This purple, this green, the green looks, this pop of like this orangey shade is absolutely beautiful. I do really enjoy this. I know it's a little bit more on the neutral side, but I've just really been enjoying it, and I've loved every single look that I've created with it. The shimmers in here are stunning, and I really enjoy this color story. So this is number 3. Okay, we're down to the top 2. Have you figured out what they are based off of what I have used lately? Now, I know that there are other palettes that I have used recently. If they're not in this ranking, they'll be in the next one because I haven't fully tested them. They're newer to my collection, but those are coming soon. Coming in at number 2 is a brand new indie brand that hit the market, and it is the Cryptine Cosmetics Burnt Forest palette. This palette blew me away. It truly did. And opening it up, it is more on the neutral side, but this blue and this orange, like all the shimmers in here actually are just absolutely stunning. Like it's a fantastic formula. I really enjoy it. I was impressed with how well this performed. I was impressed with the looks that I got. There is more variety in this one. I know that I said the Adept one I put up higher or put down lower because it was a neutral palette, and yes, this is a neutral palette, but it's also like half matte, half shimmer, and we've got the greens, we've got the browns, we have this black right here, and I'll tell you what, if you take this black, put it all over your lid and fluff it into the crease, and then put this blue over it, it is gorgeous, even if you put this one over it. But I have really been enjoying this palette. I've loved every single look I've created with it. I've just wanted to continue to play with it over and over and over, and it's beautiful. I'm very impressed. I can't wait to see what else this brand has to offer in the future. This also came with, well, it didn't come with, but it was released with a single as well, and that single shadow is absolutely gorgeous, so you can throw that in here as well. But yeah, I just really enjoy this palette. I didn't have the heart and just I didn't feel it in my soul to put it any lower than number 2. All right, coming in at number 1, we have the Divaroon Cosmetics Gloomy Garden palette. This palette is stunning. I absolutely love it. The cover art is beautiful. I love the way that this looks, but for me, it's the color story inside. This is just so bright. It's fun. It's poppy. We've got bright, colorful shadows in here. We've also got a little bit of grunge. I love the variety in here. I love the shimmers. I've really enjoyed playing with this palette. It's colorful, but it's also very well curated. It's not over the top to where it's overwhelming and you're not sure what to do, but you can do either very subdued, laid back looks, or you can get really poppy with it, especially with these 2 shades right here. I adore it. This shimmer is stunning, as is this one. All of them are, but these 2 stick out to me the most. I've really enjoyed playing with this palette. I'm sad that I didn't pick up the first palette from this brand. I probably will eventually because I really want to test it out because the formula in here is beautiful. The mattes are just... they're pigmented. They're not overly pigmented, but they're buildable. They blend together beautifully. They don't fluff away into nothing. I didn't have any issues with creasing. And the shimmers, they are a little bit on like the textured side, but they look beautiful on my lid. They don't emphasize the texture on my lid. They are creamy, they're smooth, they're soft. They go on beautifully. They last all day, and I've really enjoyed this palette. It's a beautiful one. It's definitely one of my favorite releases so far this year, but we're just getting started. We're only at the end of March, so I'm excited to see what else this year has in store for us. But this is going to be my number 1 palette for this ranking. It's absolutely beautiful. I love it. I highly recommend it. All right, y'all, so that is going to complete this ranking. Let me know what you thought. Were you surprised at where I ranked everything? Would you have ranked these differently? I want to know. Sound off down below. Keep in mind that, like I said before, this is just for fun. This is not meant to like say any of these brands are horrible or awful. I'm giving you my honest opinion. And most of the palettes, I would hope, I will truly love. I will love the formula. I will love the quality of them because I did purchase them myself, but I want to hear from you. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to know what you think. But as always, I also want to thank you all so much for being here and watching my video and spending your time with me. It means so much to me. And if you did enjoy this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button before you leave, and don't forget to click that notification bell so that you can be notified of all my future posts here on my channel. I do post quite a few videos every single week, most days if not every single day, and I wouldn't want you to miss one. Until my next video, have a good one. Bye.